All good things come to an end, and we've saved the best till last. An amazing week of poker concludes with the PCA High Roller. 25k to play, 148 entries, creating a prize pool of $3.7 million. And now we've reached the final 8 players, but only one will claim the title. Hello once again and welcome to the Atlantis Resort and Casino on Paradise Island in the Bahamas, home to water slides.
Whee!
Ladies.
Hi.
Jet skis, more ladies.
Hi.
Even more ladies.
Hi.
And of course, once you head inside, it's home to the Atlantis Poker Room, playing host to today's big event, the 25k High Roller Final Table. Hello everyone, I'm James Hartigan, joined once again by Joe Stapleton, bringing you live coverage of another great final table from the 2012 PokerStars Caribbean Adventure.
James, every single one of those girls said no. All of them.
I'm not surprised, but I do feel for you nonetheless. So the table is set. The players will be taking their seats very shortly. They'll be playing down to a champion today. The last major event of this year's PCA, as I said at the start, all good things have to come to an end, but this should be a phenomenal final table. One observation we made about yesterday's main event is because of the long drawn-out penultimate day, everyone came in pretty short. Not the case today, Joe.
It's in fact the exact opposite. We've got players, a couple of over 100 big blinds. Our one short stack is we only have one person with less than 20 big blinds. Fewer than 20 big blinds. Play should be really long and drawn out today, and just the way these guys like it. Very deep stack poker. Because things got over so quickly, the blinds levels really haven't caught up yet to the chip stacks. So it should be some really awesome, deep, well-thought-out poker today.
Let's talk about the big stories at this final table. Let's start with who the chip leader is. That honor belongs to Joson Koon. But second in chips is a guy who's had a phenomenal PCA, Jonathan Duhamel, the man who took down the 2010 World Series of Poker main event. I believe he's played 5 events at the PCA and made the final table in 4 of them.
That's ridiculous. I mean, there are plenty of people that would be happy to make one final table at the PCA. And not only did he make 4 of those final tables, but 2 of them were the 2 biggest events that were offered here, the Super High Roller and the High Roller.
Of course, Jonathan famously bought in twice for that Super High Roller. That's a tournament with a buy-in of $100,000, by the way, but he did make the money. He got a return on his investment.
The Super High Roller and the regular pathetic 25k only High Roller.
So here he is, second in chips. By the way, he also took down a 5k side event over the last 10 days. This is the money they're playing for. First man out, just over $100,000. $1.13 million for the winner. And as you'd expect, the usual steep jumps along the way.
Yesterday, people were reluctant to go broke. There were huge pay jumps, but the blinds eventually forced their hand. We would expect that to take a little bit longer today, as it's going to take a while for those blinds to catch up. Everyone still has plenty of play, except for maybe Randy Liu, who's coming in with, I think, 19 big blinds today.
Now, we are almost live. As yesterday, because we're showing you whole card information, we are in a slight security delay, so we're actually 40 minutes behind. So as I speak now, you won't hear those words for another 40 minutes. It's very weird, and we did all the Back to the Future gags yesterday. I have got some emails, though, that came in late yesterday, and if you do want to get in touch, we will try and work through your emails to nuts@pokerstars.tv. Brad emails to say, just wanted to drop a note to say, I love the live coverage with whole cards. I've been looking forward to this live stream for a while. I'm looking forward to more coverage. Thank you, PokerStars. Pedro.
Thank you, Brad.
Says, I want to say the show is great. I'd like to ask a question as well. I hear the PCA main event is a much harder tournament than the World Series main event because people 18 and above, i.e. the young internet pros, are allowed to play. Do you agree with that assessment?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it adds a dynamic, and of course there are great 18 to 21-year-olds out there. But the World Series of Poker main event, has a field 8 times the size that we had this year at the PCA. I think that no amount of teenage prodigies are going to are going to overshadow beating 8,000 other players.
And one last email here from Kieran in London. He says, "Loved the show last night. I know it's a nightmare when you don't know who your guest will be and you end up not having viewers' questions for them for 40 minutes. So I'm taking a guess at the guests today with some questions for Eugene Kachalov, not a guest, Daniel Negreanu, not a guest, Elke, not a guest. But thank you for guessing nonetheless, Kieran. I can tell you that very shortly Johnny Lodden will be joining us on commentary duties. So if you have a question for Johnny, get it in now because we won't be able to read it for 40 minutes. nuts@pokerstars.tv is the email address." Kieran concludes his email saying, "Thanks again. Shows like this are exactly what the poker world needed."
Well, thank you, Kieran.
Oh, actually, there was one last email, Joe. Obviously, after we came off air last night, Joe and I spent a little time just looking at the forums, and I think it was clear that there was a little bit of controversy. Mr. Stapleton may have stepped over the line with some things he said about the eventual winner, John DeBella. I know he offended a few people. Someone so offended that they actually took the time to write quite a long, intricate email to PokerStars.
Well, first of all, yeah, I did want to say, you know what happened yesterday is John DeBella told this story about deuces, and afterward I said, "Oh, well, let me translate that for you." I said, I'm a fish, I'm a fish, I'm a fish, I'm a fish. And I really didn't mean anything personal against John. I just saw an opening for a joke, and I wasn't really commenting on his poker skill at all in that moment. I was just trying to have a good time. But I thought that what we should do is, if I could, I'd like to read a section. I'd like to quote this person's email.
I think that would be appropriate.
Okay. I'm a troll, I'm a troll, I'm a troll, I'm a troll. I'm a troll, I'm a troll, trolly troll, troll troll. Signed, a big fat troll.
Thank you, Joseph Stapleton. More of those, please. nuts@pokerstars.tv. The final table getting underway very shortly. Just to let you know where we are at the tournament, blinds are 6,000 to 12,000 with a 1,000 ante, and our chip leader is playing a stack of 1.6 million. We've got some guys who are deep. We've got some guys who are not so deep. Should point out that Nanonoko, Randy Liu, is the tournament short stack with 13 big blinds.
13 big blinds. I think Randy doubled someone up right before the end of play yesterday. That's what left him in this tough spot.
And I'm sure many of you will also recognize Isaac Haxton, who will be in the one seat at this final table. If you recognize any of the other guys, if you have any stories about them, and of course, your predictions for a winner, please. All stuff you can send us on the emails, nuts@pokerstars.tv. But remember, because we won't get those emails for 40 minutes, because the whole time-space continuum thing, don't be offended if you don't hear your name shouted out on the airwaves with immediate effect.
You know, Ike, actually, this is not his first PCA final table. Ike made the final table of the main event at the PCA, I want to say in 2006, back when it was an outdoor event. And I believe they had severe wind problems that year, and there was... Ike was telling me, Ike had long hair at the time. You guys should look it up. He looks like a totally different dude back then. But I think he finished second or third.
He was the runner-up in the PCA main event.
So I'm sure he'd like to book a win here today.
The weird thing is, I think we all know that Ike was the runner-up. I didn't know until I read it in the official PCA magazine that Daniel Negreanu made the final table of the first ever PCA.
Back when it was on a boat.
A big boat, by the way. It wasn't just like some little kind of dinghy floating in the water. So, the 25K high roller final table about to get underway. Let's head down to the tournament floor in the Atlantis Poker Room and join the man calling the action for the crowd, Red Bull Robbie.
Welcome to the 2012 PCA. We are here at the final table of the High Roller 8 Max. We started this event with 148 players. We're down to the final 8. Let's meet them now. In seat number 1, starting with 762,000, Isaac Haxton. In seat number 2, starting with 1,139,000, Alex Billiker. In seat number 3, starting with 197,000, Randy Liu. In seat number 4, starting with 1,530,000, Jonathan Duhamel. In seat number 5, starting with 1,181,000, Nicolas Fierro. In seat number 6, he is our chip leader going into this final table, starting with 1,646,000, Joson Koon. In seat number 7, starting with 397,000, Michael Telker. And last but not least, starting in seat number 8 with 545,000, Govert Mattel.
So 4 guys from the USA, a man from the Netherlands, a Ukrainian, a Chilean, and a Canadian.
And Macho Man Randy Savage.
You love it. There's the official shuffle up and deal. Cards are in the air. The blinds are posted by Haxton and Billiker. So Randy Lou, the tournament short stack, will be the first man to speak.
And to the booth, please. Booth first, preferably.
Actually, scratch that. Looks like it's going to be Telka and Mattal in the blinds. So Haxton will be first to speak. With Haxton folding under the gun, Alex Billiker will open for a raise. Raise it up to 25,000. Remember, blinds 6 and 12. Fold around to chip leader Joson Koon. Folds the button. Michael Telka gives up the small blind. Goes up Mattal in the big blind.
Just the big blind to get through.
You can see now that Billiker is raised with 9-10 suited, and he wins himself the blinds and antes. Crowd starting to take their seats for the day. There is Govert Mattal's fellow countrywoman, Fatima de Melo. Always nice to have an Olympic gold medalist railing you at a final table.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. I'm friends with Bruce Jenner. It's my godfather. He doesn't know that, but...
So hand number 2.
Mike just ordered a coffee with cream and sugar. Slow down, buddy.
Alex first to speak. He folds. Randy Lou will also muck. Jonathan Duhamel gets out the way. Nicolas Fierro from Chile. Raising. He's in the hijack seat. He's got 8-10 offsuit. Makes it 25,000 to play.
Nico again starting today with 1.1 million.
Joson Koon in the cutoff has King-9 offsuit. Chip denominations, by the way. The yellows are the smallest chips in play. They're 1,000 each. The blues, they're worth 5,000. Those green chips are worth 25,000 each.
James, already because of these stacks, we're able to see these players can play a little more loosely than the players coming into the final table yesterday.
So just Ike Haxton in the big blind to get through. And he gives up the 9-4.
Opening. More loose, I should say. Yesterday, most of the players were all in or fold in the first level.
Yeah, we got some deep stacks in this tournament. We could be here a while, so that's why we need those emails to nuts@pokerstars.tv. Going to bring Johnny Lodden in a second, so if you've got a question for Johnny, nuts@pokerstars.tv. Email address on your screen right now. As we deal hand number 3 of the 25K high roller final table. The last big event of this year's PCA, which I think it's fair to say has been a phenomenal success.
Not really for me. I haven't scored once. I mean, no final tables.
Randy Lewis folded under the gun. Jonathan Duhamel will raise with his Jack 10. He's made it 26K. Nico Fierro calls with 8-7 suited. Joson Koon's folded. Michael Telka, one of the 4 American players to make this final table, has Queen Jack suited in the cutoff. He gives it up. He's one of the shorter stacks at this final table.
I was going to say I was surprised to see him fold in late-ish position, but his stack size explains that one.
Govert Matal has given up the button. Ike Haxton with ace-5 suited in the small blind.
Ike getting some decent immediate odds, but he is out of position.
He gives it up, and Alex Billicourt will fold the big blind. So heads up to the flop. Duhamel with the best hand in the betting lead. Fierro with position.
And a nice, juicy, speculative hand.
6, Queen 6. Flush draw for Fierro. Duhamel's Jack high is still good. Who is that guy? Is it just me, or is that intensely annoying?
He's the loud one. The weird thing is he's upstaging me, which is tough to do. I'm kind of a big mouth.
Ace on the turn.
Duhamel picks up a gut shot to Broadway.
So the action went check, check on the flop. Duhamel, now he's picked up that gut shot, will bet the turn.
And this ace on the turn is, you know, a lot of times just candy for these guys to bluff that ace on the turn. Notice that a lot. Such a good card to bluff at, as they say.
$39,000? 34,000, sorry. The bet called by Fierro, so we go to the river.
Kind of wonder if that'll shut Jonathan down or if he'll double barrel.
10 of hearts, which gives Duhamel a pair, but it gives Fierro a flush. He checks.
That 10 puts so many draws out there. Obviously completes the flush, completes some Broadway draws. The 10's not enough to have him beating top pair. Very easy check from Jonathan. Should be a pretty trivial fold for him as well, I think.
Makes it 92K.
It's well over half the pot. Yeah, pretty easy fold.
So our first flop of the day sees the pot slide across to Nico Fierro. Well, let's bring in our first special guest star of the day. Pleased to welcome from Team PokerStars Pro, Johnny Lodden. Come on, Johnny, come and take a seat. Try not to lose your headphones in the process. Don't trip up.
Not his fault. It's like a hornet's nest over here. Wires and cables. I didn't get out of here until 12:30 in the morning.
How are you doing, Johnny?
I'm good, thanks.
How has the Bahamas been treating you these last 10 days?
It's been nice. I haven't played that much, really. I only played 3 events, and no good. So I've been chilling in the sun instead.
Nice.
Johnny, where are you from again? Norway?
Norway.
You seem like a Norwegian that can at least get a tan.
Yeah, that's not often over there. We only see the sun 2 weeks a year, so it's hard.
But hey, when it comes out for 2 weeks, it's out for 2 weeks, right? 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
So hand number 4, action's been folded around to chip leader Joson Koon.
Johnny, with as deep as these guys are stacked, we saw the first player open with 9-10 suited. We saw the next guy open with 10-8 offsuit. These are pretty okay hands to open with, right, when you've got these sorts of chip stacks?
Yeah. Then you can open everything. Then you can play some flops and play real poker instead of... Usually in the big events, when you make the final table, you're always so short. So it's only one guy open and the other guy shoves.
So there's not really a ton of justification we have to do for why people are opening certain hands. They're just, you know, it's not loose or whatever. It's just, hey, we're going to...
It's just standard.
So Koon has opened with King 5, and Govert Metal in the cutoff has just flatted with the Ace-Jack. Does have position on the razor. And the blinds have folded, so we will be heads up to the flop. Metal is the effective stack, playing 495,000. 7-7-9, rainbow flop.
Koon's whiff completely.
He checks. And Govert Metal checks behind. Now 2 pairs on board.
Ace kicker is going to be the best hand here a big majority of the time.
Koon has checked a second time. Metal also checks. The river is a 6. May well go check.
Value bet, value bet.
You played against Govert Metal, Johnny. Does he strike you as the kind of guy who would value bet this?
I'm going to vote no.
No, but he's beating everything, so he can easily get his call by king. To like, if Koon puts him on a lower pair than 7, he's gonna call it down with a king. And maybe he's thinking that he's trying to push him off a split pot if you also have a king. So you never lose there. If you bet an ace, he's not gonna check 3-3 with a better hand than the ace.
Does he open you up to a raise though?
Yeah, but I don't know. Then you just have to call it down.
There's Nick Eunice, who was the final table bubble boy last night, by the way, the guy in the black hat. So here's how they stack up. Joson Koon still with the chip lead. Got 3 players at the final table who are playing more than 100 big blinds.
It's going to be a long day for you guys.
Thanks, Johnny.
That's pretty awesome, guys. I don't know if anyone just noticed that, but Johnny Lawden thinks it's going to be a long day for us. Love it.
I didn't say think. I said it's gonna be.
Exactly. It wasn't an opinion. It was a statement of fact.
Don't ruin it for me, please.
So folded around to Ike Haxton. He's in the cutoff with 8s. Raises to 24,000, which is a min raise. Alex Billacourt has folded the button. Randy Lou playing 15 bigs, has Queen 10.
This will be a see you at the river.
I think I would have folded this one for an early raise.
I just mean if he's in the pot.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
James, remember I told you yesterday that Randy doesn't have a ton of patience, it seems, when he plays live. If he had shipped it there, it would have been sort of in line with other ways I've seen him bust tournaments.
Looks like both blinds are folded. Ike Haxton wins that one. Well, yeah, it probably will be a long day, but you know what? It's going to be a long day of great poker, which you can watch here on PokerStars.tv. And hopefully Randy Lou sticks around for a while. This is the guy who broke a Guinness World Record, or set a new Guinness World Record rather, here at the PCA. The most number of profitable hands played in an 8-hour period. The total number came in at nearly 24,000. Sorry, I think 2,500, right?
His profit wasn't nearly as big. He made $7.
It was 23,000 hands.
Guys, give me the total. What's our profit?
And he made an $11 profit.
But he made all the children of the world smile. Which, can you really put a dollar amount on that? And the answer is yes.
$7.65.
That's exactly the price.
Is it true that he didn't go to the bathroom once during that 8 hours?
He did not get up during the 8 hours, not at all.
Have we checked that he's not got wiring inside him? Are we sure that he is actually human?
He actually, you know, sort of limited his intake, his fluid intake, so that he wouldn't have to.
Oh, that's really healthy. Alex Billiker.
I think Billiker raised. Right.
And Lou's going to come over the top of that opening raise. All in for 1.14 million.
No, that's Billiker's stack.
Yeah, they're going to work it out.
So Billiker's raised was to 31,000. The all-in is for 173,000. And Billiker very quickly folded.
The funniest thing about the Randy Lou world record attempt was that they had him out there in the main room where anyone could walk up to him and get within 3 feet of him while he was doing it. So, I mean, he was kind of like a monkey in a cage a little bit. People walking up, pointing at him, throwing stuff at him, trying to distract him. I don't know if anyone was trying to distract him, but I want to be like, good luck, buddy, but I just didn't want to distract him. He said it was very distracting being out, and his back is to the crowd the whole time, which is bizarre.
It reminded me of, you know, when David Blaine does his ridiculous stunts. And
Yeah.
obviously, in America, people are often in awe of him, but when he came to London and he was...
They were so brutal to him.
Absolutely. Well, he was kind of suspended over Tower Bridge in a glass box, and people were throwing stuff at him. One guy was actually driving golf balls off Tower Bridge, trying to hit him. And then some guy had like a remote-control helicopter with a hamburger attached to it, kind of like trying to tempt him with food.
James, didn't you know that hanging upside down for a month is a magic trick?
Matala's raised in early position with 9s. Made it 33 to play. Action folded around to the blinds. And they will both fold as well. Raise and take it.
You know, to go back to Matal from before when he had the ace high on the double paired board, I hate to sort of assume people's playing styles by what they look like, but once the guy's got a little gray in his hair, looks like he may be older than the rest of the table, that kind of thin value is something that I'm automatically going to assume. You know, you're sizing people up as a poker table, at the poker table. I'm automatically going to assume he's not capable of that thin a value.
Is that a fair assumption to make, Johnny?
Yeah, I know Mattel. He's a very good player, so he's one of the guys who can mix it up.
So I would be wrong.
Yeah, as usual. But as you saw there, he's probably the only one that's going to open to close to 3x. He made it 3,300 or 33K.
Yeah.
The rest of the guys is opening for maximum 26.
Although I do think what's actually happened in the last couple of hands is that the blinds have gone up. I think we are now playing 8-16 with a 2,000 ante.
I was wrong.
That's fine. I didn't hear the announcement myself.
Well, yeah,
so
it wasn't your fault. But more importantly, Matal was raising a reasonable amount.
Action folded around to Jonathan Duhamel, still second in chips.
Also, there are no wrong answers in Johnny Lawton Thinks.
Duhamel raises to 36K.
Johnny's like, oh, I thought everyone had forgotten about that. What the F? Why are you doing this? Please, just let it die.
Just remind everybody once again.
I told you a couple of years ago what you needed to do. You needed to register the brand and release like the video game, the board game. You could have had an entire franchise by now.
I know. I'm lazy.
No, I think what you need to do is something else that'll make people forget it. Like if you went on like a 4-state killing spree, no one will remember you as the Johnny Lawton Thinks guy.
I think my idea was better, personally. Fierro considering his options here. King 3 suited on the button.
Joson Koon very interested also in what Fierro's doing.
But it looked like Fierro was counting out the 3-bet. Then he kind of thought better of it. And now he's gone back for chips again. It is a raise. There's green chips at the bottom, the 25,000 chips. It's pumped it up to 88,000. And that's why Koon is interested.
Yeah. Boy, that was kind of odd.
He looked very interested,
Yeah.
as you said. Please raise kind of look.
Is that why you should never look at your cards until it's your turn to act?
I don't know, there's a
no,
split
you should have a better poker face than that.
Yeah, I'm with Johnny. I'm a split opinion on that. I think if you wait till it's your turn to act, then everyone gets to see you.
Yeah. And it takes too long time.
That too. Keep it moving. What's really important right now that Joson figure out what Fierro is raising with, because if he thinks it's a good hand, he'll want to put in a 4th bet. But his hesitation there may have tipped Joson off to the fact that it maybe isn't such a hot hand.
That is a 4-bet. Which will get a fold from Michael Telka. So once they've established the size of that 4-bet, decision will be on Duhamel. 188,000 total.
Wow, what a stare this kid's got. He looks like the honey badger.
Beware the cold 4-bet.
It's almost as if Joson Koon willed Fierro into putting in that 3-bet. He's trying it again now to get a 5-bet out of him.
By the way, this hand has involved the 3 biggest stacks at the table: Duhamel, Fierro, and Koon.
Not the time to get stubborn.
You tried, you failed. Move on.
You know, we were just saying yesterday that small blind is where most of these guys, if they're going to juice you, it's going to happen out of the small blind.
Joson Koon increasing his chip lead. Now playing 1.7 million.
Speaking of juice, that Jamba Juice looked delicious out there. Can someone get me one of those? Johnny, what are you doing after this?
Getting you a Jamba Juice.
Thanks, buddy.
Johnny Lodden has found his role in life, people.
I wouldn't let him do that.
There's nearly a quarter of the chips in play. Playing a 109 big blind stack. Now that we have moved on to the 816 level, the ante doubling to 2,000.
Yeah. That's right.
And number 9 of the final table. Sees action folded around to the button. It's chip leader Joson Koon.
Have to imagine he's raising pretty wide here.
And suffice to say, if we're not 100% sure about someone's hole cards, we're not going to display them.
Oh, really? That's no fun. That was one of the best hands ever. I don't care that it never really happened. Let's see what Joson was opening with, if we can get him.
I did. Yeah, they did get it. Oh, okay.
So now we know what you have.
They just wanted to double check.
3, 4 of clubs.
Oh, yeah.
And he wins himself the blinds and antes. So which of these guys do you not know, Johnny? Obviously, you say you've played against Govert Matal. I imagine you've come across the likes of Jonathan Duhamel and Ike Haxton.
I don't know if I played against ICAX, probably online, but not live. I played with Jonathan and Lou, is that his name?
Randy Lou.
Yeah, I played with him in the EPT in Greece just a couple of months ago.
The other guys, are they all unknowns to you?
Nico
Yeah.
Fierro, Michael Telker.
Nicolas Fierro, I've seen him around, but I don't know if I played with him. I guess I've seen most of the guys around.
In an event like this, a $25,000 buy-in high roller event, what percentage of the field is like to be really kind of top-level poker pros, and what percentage is just rich dudes who like playing poker?
Depends where we are in the world. In Bahamas is probably,
Probably pretty good, huh?
yeah, probably a good tournament.
Can you see this? Whenever I'm looking
But the field of the good players are
yeah,
too high. They're too good. Just too good.
Whenever I'm kind of feeling.
Like Duhamel, when he's playing his rush, he's too good.
Yeah.
Well, he's picked up tens here, and he's made it 36,000 to play. It's an early position raise. Govert Matal has ace-king. Matal starts the hand with 593,000.
This is gonna be an all-in. 30 big blinds.
James, you limbering up for this flip? Doing your stretching?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start doing some right now, actually.
I actually was trying to work out in my head how many times I've seen someone flip with tens against ace-king. I think it might be in triple figures by now.
Other leg.
5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, the quads are stretched.
I was slow rolling on purpose.
I'm going to do the arms now. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
So what's the bet sizing gonna be now? 77.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to flip.
I don't think we're going to see an all-in from Matal.
What?
It's gonna be 77 and Duhamel will squeeze and then he's gonna go over.
Well, I'm sure there won't be any other flips today.
It's now 92,000.
Get those cards away, says Ike. Get them away.
How much are we playing?
A little more over 600.
600? A little more?
I think so.
Johnny, does Jonathan want to put him in with 2 10s?
Yeah. It's a boring situation. It's so much more fun to push with tens. No. But I think he would, if anybody else on the table had metals chip stack, I think he would push much faster than this.
But again, we can sort of size up that this guy's a little rockier. He's a little more solid.
But I've still, yeah, he's gonna.
There we go. That's enough to put Matal all in.
They said I can't talk to the rail. They said I can yell at the rail from here, but I can't go over it.
Oh, it's so nice when you push with pocket tens and you don't get bam call.
I don't see how Matal can fold, though.
Nah, he's gonna call, but if you know if you get that insta from an old guy, then it's.
Whoa, he just uncapped his cards. Oh, okay. There we go.
He said call. So we are racing. Tens against ace-king.
I knew it.
Question is, if Matal had actually shoved instead of making that small 3-bet, do you think Duhamel snap calls with the tens against a player like Matal?
Yeah, it looks weaker if he shoves it in straight away.
I agree. I guess it depends how fast.
So here comes the flop. Duhamel in front, Matal at risk. But there's a king on the flop. Matal takes the lead. He's now set for a double up.
Ooh.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
I bet you like it.
If you're just joining us, Duhamel now open-ended.
Give him a 10. Give him a 10.
Doesn't want to catch a 10, but an ace or a 9 will see him eliminate Govert Matal. The river is a queen. So Matal does get the double up. He's now going to be playing more than 1 million chips. Jonathan Duhamel will dip down to 811,000. Matal, in fact, is now second on the leaderboard behind Joson Koon. Duhamel now 5th in chips. Still has 51 big blinds.
So, James, I was trying to think of, you know how Joe Hashem has the catchphrase, pass the sugar?
Oh, yeah.
You know, he wins a big pot, he says, pass the sugar. I was trying to think of new phrases so that everyone could have one, everyone could pick their own. And I heard that there's this dating show in the UK that has a catchphrase I kind of like. So I would have loved right there if Gobert Metal after he won and said, no likey, no lighty. Do you know that show, that dating show?
No.
It's on ITV. I love that phrase.
It's only you watching those kind of shows.
No likey, no lighty.
What on earth are you doing watching dating shows on ITV?
I'm a fan of the genre.
Okay, so that you're going to claim that as
no
your
likey, no
catchphrase.
lighty. No, that's for Gobert Metal.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because it doesn't even mean anything. You just rake the pot. No likey, no lighty. Boom, ship it.
So you're suggesting that people should send in
Yeah, send me
catchphrases
yours.
but what for the we should attribute them to the 8 players
If
at the
they
table?
want to attribute to the table, yeah. But if you want to make it your own, that's fine. If it has to be a movie quote, like I'm thinking, like, you know, if you ship a big pot and you're like, the dude abides.
Okay.
I suggested some other ones for Joe Hashem before, in addition to pass the sugar. I thought maybe like return the videos. I thought maybe that would be a good one. Or one that I really like. I sort of updated the return the videos for the modern day. It was just put it at the top of your Netflix queue. No? You don't like that one?
Was that?
How about you ship a big pot and you say, they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I think we can do better than this.
Send me yours. Send me yours.
Nuts@PokerStars.tv.
Johnny, do you want one? Do you want me to sign you one, or you want to come up with your own?
No. I want to come up with my own. Listening to you.
How about this one? What does Alan Sugar say? Does he say, you're fired?
Yep.
How about that?
That would be a really...
Say it with a British accent, though.
Yeah, that'd be really amusing, wouldn't it? Someone's been eliminated from a poker table, you go, you're fired!
Yeah, that's the one. See? That's a good one.
Raise and take it for Nicolas Fierro there. Early position raise with Jack-7 gets the job done. So that is the bridge that links Nassau with Paradise Island. And on the main island, you've got plenty of markets where you can buy conch shells.
You know, I took the ferry once last year from the island we're on to the main island.
Did you buy a lobster?
I didn't buy a lobster, but the ferry driver insisted on telling us that how many islands there were for sale in the Bahamas, and that if we wanted to buy an island, to talk to him. And I was like, oh, really? Do you get a lot of island buyers on the $1 ferry? Someone's like, look, honey, we can't afford a cab over, but if we save that $1, we might be able to buy our own island.
You're lucky I didn't call you out over your Australian accent.
Return the videos. That one I can do okay. Put it at the top of my Netflix queue. That's not. That's I can't.
In late position has called him. We know Metal has an ace. Ike Axon's on the button with King Jack. Same hand as Fierro. He lets it go. An insta call there from.
Can't wait anymore.
Do it.
Fastest player, they call him. Fastest player in the world, this kid.
That's the strange thing. Playing with like online pros from the States, young guys, they play 419 tables online. And if they play one tournament live, they takes 5 minutes every decision.
So Randy Lou moves all in. Fierro wants a count. He has got Metal to worry about behind him. And we only know one of Metal's hole cards. What's he like to flat with in late position? What kind of aces?
I only see one. Then I'm impressed by Metal if you only seen one card.
He's got Metal behind him, yeah.
Metal says call.
Ace queen. Or aces.
Ace queen.
Good guess, Johnny.
Metal just won a flip with ace king. Is he going to win another one with ace queen? Well, doesn't
Not
look like it.
Very likely.
Top set for Randy Lou.
Just like that. 100%.
Flopping dad, how ripped. Still not out of the woods.
But he is.
Who will be the first member of the away team to die, James? Who will be the redshirt Ensign Smith today? Will it be Michael Telker? Will it be Randy Lou?
Well, Michael Telke, you'll notice, without playing a hand, has actually lost nearly 50 on the day. The chip lead is added to his stack, but the biggest swing was that big all-in, but losing 723,000.
Die grote win en die kleintje verlies.
Randy Lou
Kicks off at 7:15 Eastern, and you'll need a password to register for this tournament. PCA free roll. Chip leader Joson Koon, opening an early position, makes it 36,000 with ace-10. Folded around to the button. Alex Billiker will fold. Johnny, is your time with us at an end already?
I don't know. I think so.
Obviously, they haven't actually heard you arrive yet.
I'm very sorry as well.
You won't, you won't have arrived until 40 minutes after you actually got here, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
He's a smart boy. He can figure it out.
I figured to myself.
That's a really weird experience, but you would be able to do that if you were so minded.
That's such a great idea.
I'd like to think being in the Bahamas you'd have better things to do. Oh, here we go. Tournament short stack. Michael Telke.
You.
It's a good idea. I'm gonna get Villet.
Johnny trailing the fact that we have another Nordic poker player about to join us in the booth. Ville Valbeck from Team PokerStars Pro will be taking the seat that Johnny's just warmed up for him. Raise and take it for Telke. Well, cheers, Johnny. Great to see you.
See you, man.
What's the next event for you?
I don't know. IPT Copenhagen, I think.
See you there.
Or Deauville.
Well, if you're in Deauville, I'll see you there. If you're in Copenhagen, I'll see you there.
I see you everywhere. Okay, see you later, boys.
Bye, Johnny. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Johnny Ludden from Team PokerStars Pro, as we give you information about how you can get yourself into those free rolls.
Zing!
You open the door and I'm going to walk right through it. Action has been folded around to Randy Lou. He got that double up and he's going to let it go. Duhamel on the button. He has a decision. He's got ace-5 suited. Makes it 34,000.
780 or something like that, John? Behind?
Like seven total.
780 is a good. Obviously, with action folded to Jonathan on the button, he doesn't need to have an ace to be raising here.
Koon's going to defend and play a flop.
Queen 10 could easily be the best hand. We know it's not.
That flop is Queen, Tray, 7. Koon takes the lead, the top pair. Checks to the razor. Just one club on the board. And John Duhamel has checked behind. The turn card is the King of Hearts.
This board getting worse for Duhamel's hand. Let's see if Jason thinks he can start betting for value.
He does lead.
No pair, no draw for Jonathan.
See ya!
26K.
They don't even need to count the bet. Duhamel's already folded. And the chip leader wins another pot. So we welcome to the commentary booth Ville Valbeck, moi Ville, mitukulu. PokerStars.tv. Not sure how long you're going to be with us, but if you are here for more than 40 minutes, we might get some questions in.
Oh, all right.
Can we, how are you saying that? Villa?
Ville, yeah.
With
Ville.
a V, with a
Yeah.
V sound, okay. Villa, do people ever tell you look like Patrick Wilson?
Who is Patrick Wilson?
He's a pretty decent up-and-coming actor in the United States. He was in A-Team. He was in Young Adult.
Oh, up
He
and
was-
coming, yeah, definitely.
He was in Watchmen. He was in that great movie with, what's her face? The one where she plays the little girl, Hard Candy. What was the girl
Oh,
I'm
he was the
thinking
bad
about?
guy in Hard Candy?
Yeah.
Who was he in?
Ellen Page.
Ellen
Watchmen?
Page, thank you.
Who was he in Watchmen?
He was the new Night Owl.
Oh,
Oh.
the nerdy
Oh,
night
yeah, the
owl.
nerdy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
He had pretty hot chick
But in
there.
the A team, he plays the bad guy, and he is awesome. I think that he.
You mean the new A team?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
sorry guys, but what happened here earlier? I thought Jonathan Duhamel had like 1.2, 1.3 million. When
Lost
started.
a huge flip against Govet Metal. Duhamel had 10s, Govet had ace king.
All right, okay.
And we've got ace king in play here.
He lost it to who?
Govet Metal, who's now playing just shy of a million.
Yeah.
So it's Billico who's raised here with the ace king. Hasn't found a customer so far. Everyone has folded, so he takes it uncontested. Yeah, Duhamel opened and Govart made a smallish 3-bet, and Jonathan then shoved on him. Govart made the call. Standard stuff.
Yeah. Any other big movers here? Joson Koon has won a bit more.
Yeah, he's added a little bit to his stack. I think the other big mover has been Randy Lou, who obviously came into today as the short stack with 197,000. He got involved in a flip against Metal. Metal lost this one. It was pocket 8s against ace queen, and 8 on the flop pretty much sealed the deal.
Joson Koon chipped up a little bit. He picked up kings after a 3-bet, so his 4-bet took it down.
And the great thing is, though, we've just updated you on the early action, and people who've just joined the stream have also been updated.
Well, yeah.
Let's hope they were listening, because we're not doing it again.
The Turbo Championship of Online Poker kicks off after the PCA is done and dusted. It starts on the 19th of January. There are 50 events, $10 million guaranteed prize money, and buy-ins range from as low as $5.50 to $2,100. Satellites are running at PokerStars.com.
Has anyone gotten out of line here on this final table, or has it been just pretty much solid poker?
Pretty solid. We had a couple of 3-betting the button with a suited king, king 5, and then got 4-bet by Jason with kings.
Actually, king 3, but
sorry,
same
king
difference.
tray. Excuse me.
Okay.
But you know, not really that big a deal.
Yeah. What, Jason cold 4-bet, or was he the original raiser?
It was a cold 4.
All right, okay.
Duhamel was the opening raiser with Jack ace 10, I want to say.
Not quite cold, as he was in the small blind, but essentially.
All right, some moves there, but probably not much. On the final tables, usually two tend to play pretty solid.
I mean, the key thing is, and we've said this a couple of times already, that unlike yesterday's main event final table, everyone is pretty deep. There's a lot of play in this. I mean, obviously you've got the short stacks, but the guys with the big stacks are playing 100 big blinds. So, you know, they can be a bit speculative, and we can see some post-flop play. And you can see the movement from the start of the day there.
Oh, yeah. Duhamel has lost almost half of his stack.
Yeah.
That was a big coin flip there.
Huge flip. So Metal, the biggest winner so far, but
Duhamel was also involved in the hand where Joson Koon picked up the kings. He was the original raiser, so he lost a little bit there as well.
It's nice to see Isaac Haxton there. He was playing on the same table. I was playing on the same table with him on the first day, and he was down to around 11, 12,000 at the end of the first day, and he was short or most of the second day too. So he made a pretty massive comeback.
As far as I'm concerned, Ike is one of the best poker minds in the game. Do you agree?
Who? Isaac?
Ike Haxton,
yeah. Definitely. He has sort of like, well, kind of weird style in the sense he was talking a bit on the first day how he likes to see flops and how he likes to call. And this is not very common in the, let's say, like modern tournament poker. People usually 4-bet, 5-bet, and there's a lot of moves, like pre-flop action.
Do you think because he's saying that maybe he's giving misinformation?
Probably actually no. He does likes to play his hands also after the flop, so it's not like automatic like a lot of the
Look at that, Ike had ace king in the big blind and got a walk.
Thank you. Yeah. So a lot of the times the poker these days is like reduced as a sort of pre-flop game. Like all the decisions are made pre-flop, and then after the flop it's pretty automatic. But Isaac is one of those players who likes to play post-flop too.
With him, no.